is pornography dangerous? What actually is porn?
Filmed. Film sex, no?
Yeah, it is, yeah. I just wanted to put you in a weird
question.
Yeah, I just wanted to put you in a weird position.
Well, yeah, film set where it's filmed.
Was that a good execution of like that? Actually looked like I didn't know.
Yeah, it was. I was like, is he fucking asking me that? Actually, I was what if you film it? Yeah, you know, like prostitution's illegal. Is that on your list?
Mate, that is on my list.
So I think it's filmed sexual activity.
Yeah, so let's start there, mate. Like, why is one taboo and one is not? So, say prostitution is taboo, right? You go out on the street,
Yeah.
it's looked at as quite like a derogatory sort of like activity. You're paying a woman for sex.
Yeah.
The man looks a bit gross. The woman's class is a bit gross. They're not gross isn't the best words to use, but it's frowned upon.
Yeah, a bit like
A bit what?
sleazy.
Yeah, and but come into a room. Let me put a camera in the room.
One, it's now legal.
Yeah,
You can do that, and two, it changes like the whole.
I change it. Let me put a camera in the room and whack it on the internet.
Yeah, but here we go. Let's say you get a daughter,
I don't want to hear this.
and she comes home and she says, "Dad, right, you got two scenarios: Dad, I'm a porn star, or Dad, I'm a prostitute."
Easily,
I think I'd feel, but I wouldn't feel that much better about it.
No, I would never feel better
I
about
don't
it.
think it's that far off.
No, I think there's just I guess there's regulations in porn.
It's a bit
because
safer,
it's
yeah.
There's directors, there's people there to protect you.
Checks and
There's
stuff like
checks,
that,
yeah.
No, you're
Whereas in prostitution, it's
It's-
dangerous because it's just you with another individual you don't really know well, and
Yeah,
that
no, you're right,
that,
you're
that
right, you're right.
individual could be dangerous.
Yeah.
We've seen enough serial killer documentaries to know
How many? Yeah.
how many prostitutes get targeted. But yeah, but why is one taboo and one isn't in society? It's strange.
Yeah, it is strange. You'd think it's almost stranger that it's filmed because it's like it's a private
Incident.
It's an intimate relationship you have with another person.
Yeah.
To then film that, it seems almost more perverse, isn't it?
Yes.
Like you'd think that if you were looking at it.
Do you think that it makes like so what's the dangerous side, would you say? Would you say it affects teenagers in a particular way?
Well, I wouldn't say that. Like, there's a lot of talk at the minute online about that, but like, my experience with porn was like, it wasn't addicting. It wasn't like wildly extreme. I probably watched just as much as the next person when I was like a teenager, and then kind of grew out of it when I hit my 20s. But like, it was never an issue. It was never like, what is the negative impact? And I'm sure there is. But it didn't impact me, and I don't know anybody that had like a serious porn addiction that we had to help them out or like block their laptop.
Wanking in the street,
Yeah.
on their phone in the middle of
But
McDonald's.
I'm sure it happens. But again, like for me growing up, it wasn't a big issue. But then were we just on like the cusp of it when it was becoming bigger? And I don't know.
But do you think like it's in regards to like addictions, yeah, and like the perpetuation of like the ingredients of addiction, sorry, I find that not for me but for the people that it must trouble, or the people that are addicted to it or love it, because it's obviously out there, otherwise it wouldn't be a topic of conversation so much. Its accessibility is just absolutely infinite.
Yeah.
So I'm talking like with, alcohol and drugs and stuff like that, you have to really go out of your way. And I also think the desire to like become addicted to, not the desire to become addicted, but the transition of becoming addicted to drugs and alcohol comes into place after you try those things. But porn is like, everyone gets arousing is just part of life, isn't it? That's a weird word. But through puberty and human nature and growing up, you fancy women or you fancy guys like girls, blah, 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 blah. And your desire to then like watch pornography or have that sort of
Stimulus.
That stimulant, that desire fulfilled is so fucking easy. Like it's accessible beyond a degree of...
Yeah, it's a big urge for young men mostly. So I don't think many women watch porn. It's a much lower percentage. So it's such a big urge for young men. And what you're saying is it's so accessible. Whereas normally you'd have to, like, let's say, meet a woman, date, do everything to get to that stage.
To get to that stage, exactly.
You're getting the end result without any of the effort to get to that result. Yeah, I don't know.
I think what it like conditions developing brains to like certain kinks and certain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like we were saying, you know, like if people are watching videos of, don't know, like standing up 69 with a midget in the room for like a straight up year, then meeting a girl and going and doing like participating in missionary.
Standard missionary.
Standard missionary is like,
no, you're right.
This doesn't cut it. This doesn't cut it. And I think that happens a lot in relationships as well, to like
unrealistic expectations.
Unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
Completely unrealistic expectations, because a lot of people forget like it's actors and actresses. And it really is actors and actresses. From like, it's a movie.
Yeah.
And you know, like the way they're having sex is not really how most people would have sex.
Shit, no,
and the sounds. What?
Remember when Kevin Hart talks about spitting on his wife?
yeah. I do.
It's porn and then goes and spits on his wife.
But that's it. Unrealistic expectations.
I can see that side of it, but then like, I don't know. I wasn't really watching that much hard. Like, it was pretty basic stuff. Andrew Huberman talks about it, and I think on what you were saying, the instant stimulus, like the dopamine effect of porn, and it's like it's a huge dopamine hit, and then you drop to lower than your baseline, and if you're doing that constantly, like some people go at it like 3, 4, 5 times a day. That's probably not healthy.
It's not healthy, because I think sometimes to have, you know, you say you rise up. To have that there, stable at that, is like what makes you happy and what makes you complacent and content. So to always just keep getting rid of that, draining it. Pardon the pun. Then fucking, that's
what he says. He says as well, you're going below your baseline. So let's say your baseline happiness is here, porn, jerk off. You drop to below your baseline, and then you've got to recover just to get to your baseline.
Exactly, you've got to recover just to get to your baseline.